would like to call up our next speaker, Ms. Donia Alawi. She's the president of Organics USA, based in Seattle, Washington. She's working with whole foods, foods to heal the body. The basic philosophy is foods heal the body. She's been doing this since 1990 for 22 years. Please welcome our next speaker, Ms. Donia Alawi.
So the topic is detoxification. It's one of the most important topics you could ever learn about. Because if you embark on natural healing, you cannot naturally heal your body and get rid of degenerative diseases without really going through the stages of detoxification. And this is the topic that I'm going to try to expand on and explain it to you. I do not have a scientific background. I'm not a health professional. So I'm going to explain it to you in a very layman language so that you can understand it in a simple way, just like I did. I choose books that the medical doctors talk to us as average people who don't understand the scientific terms, and these books have helped me to understand how to heal my own body, because I've had a traumatic experience in terms of being sick and trying everything else, traditional model of healing, traditional doctors, going to alternative medicine, and finally, I owned my own body, started to understand how it works, and miraculously, actually the word miraculous is what the body is all about, I ended up healing. And that happened 15 years ago, and I am 15 years healthier. I feel younger, even though I've aged 15 years. So the concept of feeling better as you age when you understand the detoxification process and how to own your own health, how to control the environment around you, the diet you're eating, is true. You feel a lot younger even though you're aging. So the topic of detoxification, without understanding it, you don't understand what health is all about. So it's very important to learn about it. Anything you do to improve your health, just as simple as drinking more water, is going to improve your health, but first you will go through detoxification. I had a friend of mine a few days ago told me that she just started drinking 3 glasses of warm water a day between meals. And she said, I experienced a life-threatening reaction. I said, what is that? She said, I couldn't breathe. After 1 week of just adding more water, I couldn't breathe. And I said, well, did you have asthma before? Did you take steroids? And she said, yes. So what happens is when she was drinking more water, the body had more moisture, was hydrated better, and the end result is the body says, thank you very much. I'm going to use that moisture to get some of the old steroids out of the fat cells. And she started feeling the same symptoms as having the asthma symptoms, the disease symptoms. But she didn't understand that. And she immediately stopped drinking more water. So the concept of understanding what detoxification is all about is really, really important. And I'm going to talk about a couple of books that made a huge difference in my understanding of how to own my own health and learn about detoxification. One of the best books that I read on the topic of detoxification, the best book I read on the topic of detoxification and healing. The name of the book is Detoxification and Healing, and the writer is Sidney Baker, MD. Unfortunately, this brilliant medical doctor is retired today. But when I read his book many years ago, he was still in practice in Boston, in the US. And he said in this book that this is the book, Detoxification and Healing. He said that 80% of the energy that the body produces is for the detoxification system, not for your brain, not for your immune system. Most of the energy is used by the body in your detoxification system, which is made of the digestive system, the liver, the kidneys, and there are subsidiary detoxification organs like your skin and your lungs and other parts of the body too. So he said that this is one of the reasons that you really need to understand why detox is very important, because you want most of that energy to go towards healing the liver or working on the liver, the kidneys, and the digestive system to do their job right. What do we learn in school? We're told that the immune system is the most important system in the body. And that's what I learned in school. But the truth is, as you learn about the research and read these books, is that the immune system depends, the health of the immune system depends on the health of the detoxification system. Most of the diseases, the chronic degenerative diseases today, falls into what happens to the immune system. If the immune system is weak, then you have cancer, you have AIDS. If the immune system is hyper, then you have diseases like my own diseases, which is allergies and eczema. If the immune system is confused and cannot protect you anymore, then you have diseases such as lupus, MS, rheumatoid arthritis. So once I understood that, my journey of healing my body started to depend on what can I do for my detoxification system? Because once I take care of that, I take care of my liver, my digestive system, and my kidneys, then my disease, which is a hyperimmune system, the immune system will go back to a homeostasis level, balanced level, and my disease will go away. So I started my journey in learning about what to do, about how to support my detoxification system. How your detoxification system protects you against degenerative diseases. Every system in your body has the capability of detoxification. And the body does that through what are called metabolic enzymes or detoxification enzymes. The manufacturing of these detoxification enzymes are in the genetic makeup of this very, very hard to explain system, which is how your genes has the blueprints. The detoxification enzymes do not come from the foods you're eating, the air you're breathing. The body manufactures that directly because of the genetic makeup that you're born with. So if your parents, you probably wondered, why is it that two people go to a restaurant and eat the same foods that may have some toxins in it, and then one person would react in a very negative way and may end up in the hospital with an allergic reaction, and the other person who ate the same food does not react, maybe have some just runny nose, but not a life-threatening reaction to the toxins they both ingested. And the reason for that is the genetic makeup. When you're born, you have to take the history. You look at the history of your mom, your dad, your grandparents, how healthy they were or not healthy. They actually give you what is called the enzymes bank. The enzymes bank has how much you're born with detoxification enzymes. The more you're born with more metabolic enzymes, detoxification enzymes, the more you'll have the ability to address toxic substances that you ingest or you breathe on a daily basis, versus somebody who may have grandparents or parents that have been sick. They're born with a very small bank of enzymes, and then they eat the same diet that their parents taught them. Maybe it's not a healthy diet, and they react from a very young age to a lot of the toxins that they're meeting in a very negative way. And we call these reactions diseases, allergic reactions, eczema. We call them all chronic degenerative diseases. But the truth is, such people, because of their lifestyle, because of the genetic makeup they're born with, do not have as much detoxification enzymes. The good news is that in recent research, they're finding that diet plays a huge role in communicating with the genes in your body and giving the signals to the genes in the body through the nutrients, specific nutrients in foods, to make more detoxification enzymes. So now we know that whatever we eat can either reduce the amounts of detoxification enzymes or increase it. Let's take an example of how diet can affect the detoxification enzymes amounts in the body. If we drink a little bit of alcohol, that will go into the body as a toxic substance. The liver will say, I can handle this. This is a little bit. And I can produce these detoxification enzymes to reduce the harm of that little bit of alcohol. But if you drink a lot of alcohol, then it saturates the liver. The liver has to produce different types of detoxification enzymes, and it reduces, in order to reduce the harm of the alcohol. However, it will, along the way, produce a lot of free radical damage, oxidation damage, and this is the beginning of the psoriasis of the liver, because it cannot handle the amount of toxins coming in on a daily basis. However, if you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables high in antioxidants, so the antioxidants in the foods can literally help the liver produce more detoxification enzymes. Thus, it's able to reduce the harm of the ingestion of cholesterol on a daily basis. So the diet does make a difference, whether you're eating foods that will help the liver reduce the impact, the negative impact of the food, of the alcohol. So how does the detoxification system works? Most of the detoxification, and I learned about this through the Dr. Sidney Baker's book, and it was a very small paragraph, but it sort of stuck in my mind. Most of the detoxification and that 80% of energy that the body produces is spent at night when you're asleep, because detoxification takes place at night. The body has to shut down in order for the liver to say, okay, I'm taking all the nutrients I got from the 3 meals a day, and now I'm going to start to the process of detoxification. So if people have any sleep-related disorders, guess why? Because the engine, your liver is your largest detoxification organ. That engine in there is malfunctioning. It's not working right. So it's like almost if you can hear, for example, if you're driving a car and the engine is not right, you're hearing a lot of noise in that engine. Well, the same with the engine in the liver. If it's not working right and it's saturated with toxins, it keeps the nervous system awake. So you can't sleep. You can't shut off your thinking. So anyone who's got sleep disorders, they need to look at the health of the liver. What's going on there? Let me do something about it. And once the engine in that liver works right, you'll sleep like a baby. I guarantee you that. So every organ in the body has some level of detoxification that takes place every day. And 2 of the other organs besides the liver that helps with detoxification are the lining in the intestinal tract and the lining in the lungs. And it makes sense that they help with detoxification, because they're the first organs that are faced with the foods you're eating every day, with the air you're breathing every day. So if they become congested and burdened with toxins, the digestive system and the lungs, then that puts the burden, extra burden on the liver and vice versa. How does the liver detoxify harmful substances? As I've shared with you earlier, it's through the detoxification enzymes that it produces on a daily basis. So how does the liver does the detoxification? It's through two phases. We call it detoxification pathways. The first phase is when the liver, through its detoxification enzymes, will take a harmful substance and reduce its harm in the body. And this is called an oxidation and reduction stage. And it does that through certain nutrients too. And this is where food becomes really, really important in reducing the harm of toxins. So basically, I'll touch on foods a little bit later on phase 2, but phase 1 is when the liver starts to produce free radicals in order to use the oxidation process to reduce the harm of the toxins that are coming in the body. And this is one of the most important parts that you can understand in phase 1. If things are not being coming out of your body fast enough of the wrong foods or the wrong substances that you ate, if it's not coming out of the body fast enough, we say that the person is a slow detoxifier. And the reason is they do not have in their body enough antioxidants to help the free radicals that the liver has to produce in order to reduce the harm of the toxic substance. So the free radicals can be, the damage from the free radicals can be reduced by foods that are high in antioxidants. Mostly the colorful foods, the orange, the red, the green, the blue, and these are the foods that are high in antioxidants. We all know that we're supposed to be taking vitamin C, beta-carotene, vitamin E because they're antioxidants. But let me share with you today that these are not the right vitamins, antioxidant vitamins that the body needs. The body needs, in order to help the liver with the oxidation phase 1 detoxification pathway, the body needs the whole complex antioxidant vitamin. So there's a huge difference between eating an orange and taking vitamin C. For example, when you take vitamin C, you're only getting ascorbic acid, but the body says, where's the rest of the stuff? I'm supposed to get the complex vitamin C. So if you eat oranges, if you eat a bell pepper, you're getting only 50 milligrams of vitamin C in one orange. But all of the vitamin C is what the body needs to help the liver detoxify the toxins and produce more detoxification enzymes. Plus the fact that in a whole food like orange or bell pepper, you have all the cofactors that helps the vitamin C become or absorb in the body better. So don't go for the isolated supplements. You're better off getting a blender and a juicer in your home, and you start juicing vegetables and fruits, or eat them as a whole, because that's how the body will benefit from these nutrients, specifically antioxidants for phase 1 detoxification. Phase 2, detoxification pathways. Once the body took the toxic substance and turned it less harmful by the production of free radicals and oxidation process, now the body is looking for other nutrients in order to use them to stick on these toxins as a glue in order for it to come out outside of your body through stool or urine. And it uses specific minerals like sulfur Sulfur is a very important mineral that the liver needs in order to get rid of toxins in the body. Sulfur-containing amino acids, so foods that are high in these amino acids like cysteine, is really important in your daily diet in order to help the phase 2 detoxification system in your liver. So foods like eggs, foods like onions, garlic. But you have to be careful with garlic a little bit because you don't want to take it all the time in its raw form. Then it becomes like an antibiotic. So you take it for a certain period of time, and then you back off, you stop, you give your body some rest. But you can take onions every day, you can take eggs, you can take the cruciferous family of vegetables, the broccoli, the cauliflower. All of these have the sulfur-containing amino acids and the minerals, the sulfur. So this is how diet and nutrition that you're eating every day can help the detoxification pathways. So on a daily basis, we're facing toxins, whether we breathe the air, whether we eat the wrong preservatives in the food, we drink the water that may have some toxins in it. We can't help it. This is lifestyle today. It's full of toxins. So what happens when the liver becomes overburdened with the amount of toxins coming in and the nutrition is not really giving the body what it needs to help the liver on a daily basis? Then this is what I call, in an analogy, it's almost like your cup is full and now it's spilling over. Where would the toxins go since the liver cannot process them? Unfortunately, it will start going to the endocrine glands in the body. That is your thyroid, your pituitary inside your skull in the back of your neck, and your adrenal gland, which sits on your kidneys. These endocrine glands are not made for detoxification, but the body is on a survival mode every day. It says, I need some other system to take over the burden because the liver, the kidney, the digestive system can no longer do the job. And the body says, okay, let's get these glands to take over. So most of the toxins will start to spill and go to the hormonal system and to the brain, because after it comes out of the liver, a lot of these toxins become fat soluble, and it's attracted by organs in the body that has a lot of fat in it, which is the brain and the hormonal system. So you notice that a lot of women sometimes go through the process of their cycle. Instead of 3 days, it might be a whole week. That's how the body wants to get rid of the toxins. So if you want to learn more about the endocrine glands, one of the best books that I read on this topic and how it takes over the detox is Food is Your Best Medicine by Henry Beeler. It goes through details. This book is outside on the table if you want to take more information about it. It goes through details about how the endocrine glands take over the job of the liver. And it's fascinating because I learned that that's when you start being diagnosed. You've got this, you've got that, is when your endocrine glands are taking the job of the detox. Before that, the liver, the kidney, and digestive system are still trying to help you detoxify on a daily basis. You might have some symptoms, but you're not labeled with a disease, a chronic degenerative disease. It's only when the endocrine glands take over that job. One of the best explanations that go beyond what Dr. Beeler explains, how the endocrine glands take over the detox and what happens after that, is in a book that's called Digestive, Optimal Digestion. And that was in one of the first slides that you saw. This slide comes from a new body of medicine called functional medicine. And they're all MDs. And most of them believe that the detoxification system is, when it malfunctions, it's the basis of all diseases. So what they say here is what Henry Beeler said in his book back in the 50s, except now they're doing clinical studies and research to show how the process of the damage that happens to our detoxification system, how can that lead to all sorts of diseases? So they all say that the problem starts in the digestive system that receives the food, and if that falls apart for whatever reasons, maybe you're born with a weak digestive system because your parents may have had ulcers or problems in their digestive system. So the genetic makeup and the nutritional history of the person and the toxins we're facing every day, the first system that falls apart is your digestive system. And when it cannot do the job, then it puts the burden on the liver. And the liver will take over the detoxification job of the digestive system. Now, if these two fall apart, then the endocrine glands take over. Everything else in the body becomes affected in a negative way. Your nervous system, your brain, your heart. So these doctors, when you go see them, they say, don't try to fix the heart. Of course, if it was an emergency, do the surgery. But if it wasn't an emergency and you just got the news something is going on with your heart, what they're saying to you, if you're working with a functional medicine doctor, go back and try to help the liver, help the digestive system to work better, because every burden that's fallen on that heart or nervous system will be removed and you'll feel completely better and healing starts to happen naturally. So this is scientifically proven. It's not just anecdotal stories. If you read more and more about functional medicine, Google functional medicine, and you will see there are hundreds of research that prove this theory. The causes of degenerative diseases is the malfunction of the detoxification system. One of the biggest things that what happened in the immune system, as I shared with you in the other slide, is that the immune system stops its ability to produce anti-inflammatory enzymes. It stops its ability to produce antibodies because it is so busy trying to take care of the spilling of toxins that come out from the liver as a result of the liver not working right and being congested. So the immune system starts to fall apart. Here's the good news. What can we do about our liver and the digestive system is in our hands. There's no pill that you can take to address the health of your liver. What you can do is design your lifestyle in order to help improve your diet, the quality of the foods you choose. As Nabil said, breathing helps a lot. And all of that can engineer the genes and the ability of your genes to produce the detoxification enzymes and help tremendously. The human body is marvelously designed to keep you healthy all the time. You don't need to send it to a university. You don't need to do anything about it other than give it the tools that it needs on a daily basis to keep your body healthy. That's all what it wants from you. So what are the characteristics of the foods that when you're choosing foods, it will help you increase the detoxification enzymes in your body, help your liver, help your digestive system? As Nabil said, raw foods, that's what they taught him, and that's what he lived on for 2 years. Now, my disease was not as an extreme, life-threatening disease, and so I didn't go 100% raw. I went 80% raw, 70% raw. So the quality of the foods that you're choosing, if you apply these characteristics to such foods, then it becomes a quality food, enzymatically alive, whole food, an orange instead of a vitamin C, easily to assimilate. The difference between eating beef and eating fish. It takes 18 hours for the digestive system to process a piece of steak in order to turn it to amino acids. But it takes 4 hours for the body, for the digestive system to process fish and turn it to amino acids. The body doesn't care what protein you're eating, what high protein food you're eating. What it cares about is the amino acids. Will that protein high food turn to amino acids quickly or not? So easy assimilated is very, very important. Organic foods, you have al-mazara, which is the first organic food produce store. So you're blessed with having that store here. Bottom of the food chain, the more foods you eat at the bottom of the food chains, the healthier you will become. So what foods can help your digestive system and your liver detoxify toxins better? Let's start with foods that will help remove germs, bacteria, funguses. These are toxins, and we are introduced to them every day through the environment we live in. So these are the foods that you can eat on a daily basis. Some of them have medicinal quality, and so you can't eat them every day. And these are the papaya seeds and the garlic. You can cook with garlic every day because the cooking deactivates the ingredients in the garlic that kills the bacteria, the fungus. So if you want to get rid of a lot of the parasites, bacteria, and fungus, you need to eat it raw, but you have to be careful. As I said, I do a program of anti-germ program once every 6 months. I take 3 weeks and I introduce raw garlic to my body. The same with papaya seeds. If you ever crushed papaya seeds and smell, it smells like a medicine. It is a medicine. And it will kill not just the parasites, but it will kill the larva of the parasites. So these are very powerful anti-germ foods that you can introduce to your diet. Some on a daily basis, some on a intermittent, like every 3 months or 4 months, you could eat these foods for 3 to 4 weeks. What foods that will help you clean your blood so that when it gets to be filtered through the liver, it's not carrying as much toxins in it, and that would be foods very high in the chlorophyll content, which cleans the blood, it cleans the liver, and these are the green foods, the green vegetables. The darker that vegetable has this dark green color, the healthier it is for you. Kale and cilantro are some of the most healthy foods that will help introduce a lot of the ingredients that the liver needs to detoxify. And I like to juice kale a lot. Have you ever, I don't know, I haven't seen it here in stores quite a lot, but if you do see it and you juice it, it's the deepest green you've ever seen. It's beautiful. And cilantro is available. That's one of the best vegetables to get heavy metal out of your system. And wheatgrass, have you ever tried a shot of wheatgrass? It's outside, give it a try. Very high in chlorophyll. And I wrote down shiitake and the mushroom family, but actually, from a lot of what I read, maitake mushrooms is one of the most nutrient-rich foods, very high in antioxidants, and very high in vitamin D. Believe it or not, maitake mushrooms, a handful of that on a daily basis gives you vitamin D more than you get from milk and other foods. Spices help tremendously with providing the sulfur that the liver needs, like ginger, turmeric, and cumin. If you can ingest it beyond cooking it. When you cook something, you have to understand you're deactivating the enzymes, the good nutrition, the vitamins. So buy it in a powder form, and if you can't tolerate the taste, put it in capsules. And I like to take that at bedtime, because remember, liver detoxifies at night when you're asleep. So by taking it at bedtime, it's almost like providing the tools for the liver and say, here's some tools for you to work with. Again, they're very high in sulfur and sulfur-containing amino acids. So you know from the little bit of that you heard today from Nabil and myself that your detoxification system is your most important system, and how you can support it and help it to do its job. That's all what it wants from you. It can keep you healthy for life if you choose the right dietary factors, and lifestyle and environmental conditions become a little bit healthier. So always think about what you're putting in your mouth, and take a look, do an inventory of your whole lifestyle, and I hope you will take a little bit of the information today and go home and apply it. Thank you for inviting me for the talk.
We can take 1 or 2 questions for Ms. Donia.
Thank you for the nice presentation, which is very informative. You said the meat and the fish takes 4 hours and 18 hours. What about the vegetables? If you eat raw vegetables, how long does it take to digest?
Very easily, less than an hour.
All the vegetables?
In its raw form.
Okay.
If you cook it, you lose the enzymes, you lose the vitamins. It takes a lot longer to process the vegetables and get the nutrients from them. So you want to introduce a lot of raw vegetables and raw fruits to your diet. That's when it takes about an hour to process and turn to energy.
Thank you.
Thank you for your lovely presentation. I have read in quite many books and articles that onions and cinnamon come into this category. Would you agree with it?
Absolutely. We use, if you read the history of the medicine in the Middle East, that's what they used, is mostly cinnamon for every disease. So that is a really good spice to add to your diet on a daily basis. And what was the other?
Cinnamon and onions.
Onions. Onions, it has antibacterial substances, but not as strong as garlic. So you can eat raw onions on a daily basis. And the red onions are healthier than the white onions. So if you're doing a sandwich, incorporate some red onions in there, salad. You can do that daily. Okay?
One last question. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Donia, for an excellent presentation.